So what was the, where did you grow up, first of all?
I grew up in Mesquite, Texas, Irving, Mesquite, the Dallas area. High school, North Mesquite High School.
Okay. Yeah. So kind of Eastern Metroplex.
Yep.
What about
Exactly.
you, JL?
I grew up just south of Lufkin in the Angelina National Forest. Out there is a little town called Zavala.
So you guys met in that area then?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I can tell you
Real
all
like
how we
Sam
met.
Rayburn, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so at some point in my life, I was homeless in Dallas,
Okay.
and I just ran out of everything. No job, my vehicle got stolen not too far previous to that, and so I was just down. And I had been talking to an old baseball buddy from college, and so from Stephen F. Austin, where I went to university, played baseball. So he was like an assistant coach there at the time. And we were talking a little bit, and finally he'd been trying for years to get me to come visit, Well, I was in no shape to visit, I didn't have, even a vehicle. Mm-hmm. But I was like, well, I can at least go down there. He's been wanting me to come down there. He said I could stay for a few days, whatever. It didn't matter because I just needed a place to go. Mm-hmm. So my sister helped me, got a Greyhound bus, took a Greyhound bus to Lufkin, and he picked me up off the Greyhound bus. We went down to Zavala, where he's from, because that's where he was living at the time. And his house, we met his wife. He had wife, 2 kids, younger kids. Met them, threw the baseball in the yard a little bit. And then he took me down to his, forest house. Basically, it's a house down at the very end of a dirt road where it's surrounded by national forest. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
But it was, walk in, there's a mess. There's nothing, nobody lived there for 15 years. It was run down, but it was a cabin. It was right there. And so he dropped me off. I was going to stay there tonight. Rats running everywhere. No problem. I got a place to stay. So he would come down, at first every few days he would come down and we would just talk about old times. And then, music was the reason though, because he saw me playing some songs, on YouTube, just sitting in my kitchen playing a song. So we started writing songs. And I was like, hey, can I stay here longer? He said, man, you can stay here as long as you want. Keep writing those songs.
So,
yeah. So he would come down every, a couple times a week. He had a busy schedule, work and family, but he would come down a couple times a week and we'd sit there and just play songs and try to write songs.
It kind of gave you a purpose.
Yes, absolutely. And this place was so far out into nowhere, and I never left. I never saw anybody. And I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have any of that. He brought one time. First, he would just bring me a big bag of rice and beans, and then one day he was in the parking lot of La Michoacana. Some Mexican was selling chicken leg quarters, and he bought 50 pounds of chicken leg quarters. Stuck that in my freezer, and I ate that for 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah, 4 months. I was volunteering down at the local.
Tommy hasn't had a slice of chicken since then.
I have not had chicken in 2 years. I've had chicken in 2 years. That's just
He's a whole chicken down.
Yeah.
I would throw the whole chicken in the crock pot and eat that. Would I eat 2 days? I don't know
what do you want to go to eat today, Tommy?
Anything but chicken. Yeah. It's real. It's real. So anyway,
man, the struggle is real.
To jump to JL, Christmas comes around, and I had just met some other people through my friend Kelly Dickinson, the man that picked me up, the old buddy.
The mayor.
Yeah, the mayor. He was the mayor of the town down there. Anyway, so at some point I had to get a job. I couldn't just be down there forever. After about 3 or 4 months, I think it's 4 months I was down there, never leaving, not having anything and no money and nothing. So 4 months over, he had a friend who's a carpenter, had a business. He brought me down. I was able to be a helper and just get a little bit of money. Well, I went over to his house for Christmas because they were nice people. I would hang out on the porch with them and play music. It's all about music. Everything I know and everything I've done is all because of music. To help, the people and all that's because of music. So I go over there for Christmas, I ain't got nowhere else to go. I go over there and sitting in the kitchen and I'm playing some songs and I'm playing some originals because, that's pretty much what I do. I do some covers, but I'm about originals. Live, half and half, so we can get the crowd involved. But I'm about playing originals. So I'm playing an original. It's called Twice Broken Cross. It'll be out, I don't know, next year.
Great song.
It'll be out next year. So I'm doing Twice Broken Cross. And I nursed him. He's there with a girl that's cousins of my boss's wife. Cousin. Okay, so it's all
I've
there.
known all my life.
They're all from Zavala.
Yeah,
so he's known them forever.
Yeah.
Well, he hears the song and he's like, wait a second. what song is that? Who does that song? I was like, oh, I do that song. That's my song. He goes, no, seriously, man, whose song is that? I said, no, seriously, that's my song. I'll play it for you again. You can look it up. Try to find out.
Feeling.
Yeah, that is a really good feeling. I think better is when like like a person cries out of just emotion.
Evoking emotion.
Yeah, that's good too. And when children at shows dance, that's the top level. And then sometimes they'll draw a picture of you and come bring it to you. Yeah. That's the height of playing music, by the way. If a kid brings you something they drew and tells you that thank you,
puts it in your tip jar.
That's it. Yeah, puts it in the tip jar. That's it. That's the height. I can make $500. It doesn't matter. That's better for me.
I agree with you.
Yeah, right on in the tip.
So let's go back to when you're a little Tommy. What are some of your early musical influences and experiences?
Okay, I'll let you know that. I want to finish real quick about JL. Sure. So I'm there playing, and he's like, "Well, I can play the drums." I'm like, "Oh, really? Yeah, I really okay." He goes, "Yeah, I hadn't played them in like 10 years though, but I'm really good. And the only reason I haven't played them is because I don't like playing in cover bands." I was like, yeah, whatever. You hear somebody like Texas. That. You hear that. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So a few days later, a week later, he comes down to that cabin. There's nothing in there. So he sets his drums up. We start running over those songs. And I was like, holy shit, this guy can play real good. And then we start to mold these songs. What I had in the beginning was just me writing songs and then to bring the drums in we started making these songs alive. And so we've just been playing ever since.
It's incredible. And JL is multi-instrumentalist, as you guys can see. Well, you haven't seen it yet, but he played harmonica on the first song. You guys are going to see him play bass on the second song. Now we just found out that he plays drums as well. So what is it that you can't play, is the question.
Any brass instrument.
He had to think about it, though. He's like, well, you know what? I could play them all. Maybe not well.
Yeah.
That would be me. I can play everything.
Yeah.
I'll play at anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm not a musician, but I can play anything.
Right. Exactly. You might not want to hear it, but I can play it.
Right.
Dashboard drumming, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a trumpet at home, and nobody wants me to play it.
No. Well, trumpet's not really relevant. Right? No. So back to the question about your early, your first musical experience.
So growing up, basically, I was an athlete. I got a scholarship to play at SFA, play
baseball, right? Yeah.
Music was not something like everybody listens to music. Everybody likes music. Doesn't matter. But I had no ideas of making music, creating music. Not in my mind whatsoever, until I got to college. And, in college, you start seeing different things in the world that you hadn't seen in your little town, in your high school. So I was in college and I'm playing baseball and I'm majoring in literature. So I was interested in words and how to write. I majored in literature. Another plug, Chris Edwards and I were in some of the same classes. And so,
awesome.
Here we go. You have to take some electives. If you're to get a degree, you have to take a few electives outside of your field. So I took intro to music just because I thought it'd be easy or, whatever. Yeah. And the instructor was fantastic. He really inspired. And so and it was classical music, but it didn't matter. I was like into music now. Yeah. I was into music. I was listening to it, analyzing it. I was trying to understand it. And I was like, okay.
Are you a sponge?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah. I would say so.
So like you find something you're interested in or something that just piques your interest just a little bit and you just dive in.
I just soak in it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I feel you. So now like you're in college, you're there for words.
Yep.
Now you're picking up classical side of music.
Yes.
There's a meaning there, right?
Yep.
Words, music, that's
you
a
go.
song.
That's the progression. Yeah. That's the progression. So now I'm like, okay, so I love music now and I love words now. Well, how do I put those two together? A song.
Yeah.
A song. So
up to this point, what are you writing as far as, you're
short
taking
stories,
literature? It's short
poetry, short stories.
So it's already short form content.
Yeah, sure. Because, I'm young, I'm getting to, I can't write a whole novel.
Right.
And poetry was my favorite. Poetry, because it's just more powerful. You can say a lot more in one page than a whole book can say if you say it right.
Yep.
And so also, when you got music to it, boom, now it really comes alive. Yeah.
And so what are you delving into songwriting at a young age too? Do you write songs also?
I come up with ideas. Tommy puts it in the words that people want to hear. I come up with
he does.
Give me an example of an idea. Just like a musical riff or
there was, there's a song that we wrote on Kelly Dickinson's back porch there on Davisville Road. And I was going through, kind of a tough time, breakup with a girlfriend
The
and all
river
this.
song,
And no money, stuff like that. I'm just laying up on this friend's couch and
That's how pretty much all these songs come about.
Are you the guy in the corner that says, "Well, wait, what if we did this"? Are you that guy, kind of?
At times, yeah.
He's the music guy. Right? He knows a lot about music and how he wants it to sound, and he's good at it. So that's what he does. Now, he does have a few lines in some of the songs. It's like, I'll be struggling to get the perfect. Like, I'll have the song finished, but there's one or two lines in the song that are just weak.
Yeah,
they need improvement, and I'm trying to improve it. I write a line, no, they don't. And then he'll come to me and say, "Hey, try this line."
And that's usually what stops a song from being complete is just one line.
Oh, I've had a song that was 90% complete. It was set for 2 years. He came, 2 lines, song's done.
It just having an outside the box perspective. I've heard that so many times in the world of songwriting. There's a lot of songwriters out there. Tony Arata is a good example of this, who wrote The Dance.
Yeah.
He does not co-write at all. He does not like to co-write. So when he's co-writing, he feels like he's just not adding anything. He doesn't like that, right? But he's 100, like The Dance is a 100% right for him. There's no other name on the song but his. So when he is struggling with that last 10% of the song, he typically just has to get it from himself or he shelves the song.
Okay.
So that's why a co-write can be really beneficial.
I've never really had like a co-write before.
Yeah.
It's just I've had people give me a line or two and I insert it in there.
And that's what it is. That's
still co-writing in some ways.
That is what that is.
Yeah,
He takes a story and puts it into a song.
I don't mind if somebody's got a better line that fits better.
When
I'll
you
be glad
take a
to
song
use
into
it.
the studio, the same thing can happen where, there might be a certain cadence or a certain melodic structure that you don't hear as the songwriter, but maybe one of the session players does.
Yeah. Oh,
and that can make the entire song.
Absolutely.
Like the fiddle part in Amarillo by Morning.
Yeah.
That's not something that was there until the session work came in.
There's nothing else about the song without
the lead ride to Hippie Hiatus wasn't there. I've been playing Hippie Hiatus for over a year. Went to the studio, and I have the best studio guitarist there is, Spence Pepper. The best there is. Well, he comes up with that slide guitar little lick, and man, it blew the song away.
I love Spence.
Yeah.
I forget who plays with now.
I think Scotty McCreery.
But Scotty McCreery, you got it, yes. Scotty McCreery. Spence Pepper back in the day, but right before he got with Scotty, we were supposed to do an interview with him, and then he went on tour.
He's an incredible human being and an unbeatable guitar player.
Incredible.
But even better human being, though.
Yeah. I haven't met him in person. Now, I'm glad you dropped his name, because now I can reach back out and attempt to do that.
Definitely.
But yeah. And of course, you've been recommended to me by so many people, like Joe Morales as well.
Oh yeah,
dropped your name to me, as well as a bunch of other names from the area. And that's the cool thing about doing podcasting, especially in East Texas, is once you start doing it and people start realizing you're doing it, you start getting all of these incredible names that are just right under your nose that you don't even know exist.